Hello, this is Marcia and Carolina back with our level 3 plank video. We're going to take this plank a little bit further. We started level 1 with our low active plank hold. We took level 2, we took that hold into a movement, and now we're going to go into level 3. Level 3 is going to actually introduce what I call the high plank. I don't call it that, so everybody else does. It's high plank, or what some people will refer to as push-up position. All of the same principles from your low plank are going to apply here. So if you need to go and refer back to level 1 to make sure that you've got the active tightness and all that, go back to level 1 video, but I am going to show you just a little bit of difference of how I recommend you get into high plank position. And then we're going to actually add some instabilities. So we've been pretty stable so far in level 1 and level 2. We're going to have a little bit of instability by taking up one arm or one leg. So we're going to go right into it. Carolina, if you can go ahead and lay down on your belly. I'm going to have you go into high plank position. I'm going to have you extend your arms all the way in front of your head, and just so you can demonstrate to people how I tell them to do this. To find the right position for your hands, you just pull them back as far as you can till they're right underneath those armpits, and then you're going to take your body up to where you're in what I call tabletop position, hands and knees. And then from there, all the same principles apply. You dig those toes underneath you, and you're going to go up into a high plank position. Now, instead of the elbows being right underneath your shoulders, you're now looking at a straight line from the shoulder, elbow, and wrist. She's got a nice, perfect straight line, a nice flat back. You might go down just there, right there. Perfect. And then you've got a high plank. So if you don't have a good high plank yet, then you would just kind of leave it right here. Work on high plank and make sure that you can hold this position. You can activate every muscle just like we did in the low plank. Are you doing that?
Yes.
You are? Okay, I didn't tell you to, so I wasn't sure if you were doing it or not. You look so beautiful and stable. It looks easy for you. But if you are good here, if you've mastered the low plank and this high plank is not hard, you can move on to challenging your stability. So the way we're going to do this, we're going to first do this with her hands. So I'm going to have her take one hand up and touch the other hand up and touch. So she's going to alternate. So go ahead and start that for us. Tap one, do it nice and slow. Now what you're wanting to look for is a very little movement through the body. So you can see her body is rocking side to side just a tiny bit, and that's not bad. There's nothing wrong with that. If you are rocking more, then one thing you can do is you can actually take those feet wider. So I want you to take a wide stance with those feet. You already did, awesome. And then it's a lot easier to be stable. If you want to go a little bit more challenging, you can start tapping your elbow. You can get a little higher. Keep it nice and controlled. And then you can go all the way up to the shoulder. So try all the way up there, reaching for the shoulder. Beautiful. All right, now one thing I do with my clients, go ahead and relax for a second, is I have them start working on some actual back muscles by doing a row. So we're gonna use this dumbbell over here. I'm being nice, I'm only making her use 8 pounds. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put this dumbbell right here by your right hand. We're only gonna do one hand. Some people use 2 dumbbells for this, and they'll have one in each hand, and they're actually doing a high plank hold with 2 dumbbells, and then they'll pull one up and the other. That's pretty hard on the palms, and I don't know if Caroline is as princess-like as I am, but that hurts when you got your hands and all that pressure on that metal. So I'm gonna only make her do one at a time. So, but I'm gonna have Carolina go back into that high plank position. And what you're gonna do, go ahead and take a wide foot stance for me on this one, because once you start trying to pull that weight up, the other thing you can do to be a little bit more stable is take your left hand, move it more centered, a little bit more. So it's more, you're gonna be more like a tripod. Now what I want you to do is take that weight and pull it straight up to your armpit. Boom, look at that, and back down. Exhale, pull, and release. So this might not be something you do on your own. You might not have a dumbbell to do. So a couple of things. I'm gonna have you relax to your knees for a second. I'm gonna take this. Go back. That was a short relax, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Carolina. But go back up, and you can just pretend like you have a weight, and that's still gonna engage your back muscles. So go ahead and use your right hand and pull up and back down. Create tension by pulling like you're pulling a bow back. If you've ever done bow and arrow, boom, she's pulling that straight back. So you still feel that engage your back right here. Yep. All right, so we're gonna relax. That may not be something you can do. You might want to just kind of stick with the tapping. You don't need any equipment for that, and you don't need a trainer unless you want somebody watching you. Again, keep your back flat. The other thing I want to show is the instability of the feet, because this now takes the one arm out. We're going to take one leg out now. So I'm going to shift a little bit just to see more of your feet. One more time, go into that plank position. All right, and from there, you just tap one toe out to the side. Yep, and bring it back. Then tap the other out and back. So this is an out, in pattern. The other way you can do this, which is a little bit harder, is to go out. Take one foot out, take one foot out, and then the other foot out. Nope, nope, don't go back in. Out, out, in. There you go. Out, in. And so that's going to be a little bit harder than the out, in pattern, but it's taking the stability away. Go ahead and drop down. And that is all I'm going to make you do for level 3, Carolina. So what we've got here is now we're taking, instead of 4 points, you've got a plank where you're taking 1 point away and keeping that level back. So a little bit added challenge there for you?
Yes.
Awesome. Beautiful. Well, thank you again for watching, and we will be back with level 4